Over the holidays, I made some tamales and they were so good, you guys. My best tamales thus far that I've ever made, and I wanted to share the recipe with you. Now, I made some chicken and beef tamales. I put them in the pressure cooker. I added a half an onion to each pot, a bunch of garlic, a bay leaf to each pot, some salt and pepper. I threw in some onion powder, garlic powder, and cumin. I went ahead and popped the lid on, and after it was done, it was nice and tender. Here's the beef. And here's the chicken. Now we're going to focus more on the beef because I got tired of recording both. But like I said, everything I did to the beef, I did to the chicken. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our meat from the pot, but we're going to save that broth. Do not throw that broth away. Now for the red chili sauce, I took my chili pods and I took off the stems. I removed as much seeds as possible. You're going to end up with some seeds, girl, so don't even worry about that. And I went ahead and rinsed my chili pods off because they are dirty. And then I added them to a big pot. I threw in half an onion. And then I'm going to cover them with some water, just enough to cover the chili pods. Now I brought it to a boil. Once it hits a boil, I'm going to turn that fire off. I'm going to pop my lid on and I'm going to let my chili pods steep and let them get nice and soft. Now once they're nice and soft, I'm going to take my chili pods, that onion, I'm going to throw in some fresh garlic, a chicken bouillon cube, and a bunch of cumin. And I'm also going to add in some of that beef broth. That's why I said you got to save that beef broth, girl, because you're going to add it in the masa and in your chili sauce. It's going to give it so much flavor. Now I'm going to get my blender going, and once it's nice and smooth, I'm going to go ahead and strain it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my chili sauce to my beef. You want your meat to be super juicy. You don't want it to be dry. You got to add a lot of sauce to it, girl. You want it to be super juicy. Now to get my husk ready, I went ahead and picked out all the bad ones. I rinsed them off. I put them in a big bowl. I'm going to cover them with some boiling hot water. You might have to put something on top so you can make sure they're submerged under the hot water. You can let these soak for overnight. Honestly, I did. It's going to get nice and soft so you can roll them. Now for my masa, I'm using my Tamal Masa, not the Maseka in the white bag. I'm using my Tamal Masa for tamales. And I'm adding in some oil. I'm adding in some beef broth. I'm also going to add in some salt and some of that red chili. I'll make sure I have all the measurements in the description box. But you want your masa to be nice and soft so you can spread it. I'm getting better and better at these tamales, y'all. Every time I make them, they're coming out better and better. Now to spread the masa on the tamales, I took a pastry scraper maybe, and I just put it on there and scraped them down, girl. This was the easiest way. You can use a spoon. You can also use the tortilla press. I saw multiple people using tortilla press, but using the pastry or the board scraper is so much easier. You're just going to spread your masa on your husk, add your meat, and then roll it up. This time I did a nice thin layer of masa. It was easier to do a thin layer with the scraper. I'm going to add your masa to the middle, fold it over, and roll it. I like to have that extra masa when they're done. So here I have my red chili beef, I have my green chili chicken, and I have some cheese and jalapeno tamales. I let them steam for a couple of hours. I make smaller tamales. You guys, look at these tamales. Look at it. Look at how juicy it is. The masa was soft. They were perfectly seasoned. You guys, I was so proud of these tamales. Yum.